Hello. How's it going, everyone? It's another Sunday. Back at it again with some more page turner action. Is anyone there? I feel like I'm talking to myself again. This happens every week. Oh, no, there's a couple of highs. Hello. Hi. It always takes a couple seconds to get there. Hello, welcome. There's everyone. Hello. You guys ready to get back at it with some more islands? More islands. We've got, let's see, we did 3 islands last week, and there's 9 islands total. So, in theory, if we do another 3 islands this week, then we got... I'm sorry. A notification popped up, and it was like, stream highlights or something, so I got distracted. I was like, wait, what? So I tried reading that. It should take us this week, and then potentially next week, as long as we're doing 3 each week. So we did 3 last week, 3 this week, 3 next week, and then we'll be good. Talk about holidays they have on Ilaria. Okay, so holidays, that's definitely going to be some world building stuff. Actually, I don't know when we will do that. Right now we're doing islands, so holidays would probably fall under like livelihood kind of stuff. So we'll probably have to have a couple miscellaneous streams where we just talk about a broad range of things. So for example, holidays, I don't know, just like other miscellaneous laws and stuff like that. So those will probably all be grouped together. How are things? Things are going good. It's Sunday again. So those Sundays are always fun because we get to work on page turner. You missed out on a lot of streams. Oh, that's sad. You got to go catch up. You know, well, okay, the past couple of weeks we haven't been doing any streams because of a weird glitch thing. So I don't know what the last one you've seen is, but you might want to go recap episoding, binging, or something. Festivals, yes, festivals. That's another good one to group up with those. Can there be one island for every species? No, we're not doing that because all the different species are sort of like intertwined on Ilaria, except for like the monsters on the monster islands. Those are the exception with that. How long will this take? The islands or the entire thing? The entire thing is probably going to take another year or so, I would imagine. Maybe. Because, I mean, I think we started this March. Like, this March. And so, I mean, next March, we'll see how we've done in a year. So, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how long it's actually going to take. Okay, so are we ready to get started with some islands? Because islands are fun. Is merch coming for page turner? I don't have any plans for page turner merch, although that would be kind of cool. So I don't know, we'll see. Okay, sweet. Looks like we are all ready to go. All right, so here's what we did last week. We did the King's Island, and then we did the Research Island, or the Experiment Island, with just a bunch of weird stuff. It's a perfect island for research and development and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and then the Mountain Island. Oh man, this is brutal. It's the super cold island where nobody wants to go outside and everyone's like in pain. Not in pain per se, but like just it's terrible living conditions there. And for those of you guys maybe not here last week, we're going through this island document from Ifedexa. And so like the Hailstorm Island was that was inspiration for like the harsh like Mountain Island. So we're sort of taking a couple ideas from here. The Research Island was something completely different, although we scrapped this. So so for number 4, the Ground Fog Island, a moist environment thick with ground fog Okay, so that sort of reminds me of like maybe a swamp or something. Oh, maybe we should recap what all these things. Okay, so the first letter A is description, B is atmosphere, C is climate, D is native inhabitants, although that was changed. What did we change that to? Just inhabitants, so it wasn't necessarily like native, just people who are there, although that's sort of the same thing, but whatever. Side islands is E, F is distinguishing features, G is social life, and H is attractions. Okay, that's good. So basic description is moist environment with thick ground fog. B, I think, was atmosphere, easygoing but sensitive and susceptible to change. C, climate, is that what it was? Mostly wet with light rain showers every so often. Okay, yeah, this is really like giving me like swampy vibes. Inhabitants quickly evolved to be taller to avoid the dangers of the fog, being short, super dangerous for the young, and the short in the fog. That's actually really cool. It's like also another, well, I guess it depends on if we want like harsh islands or if we want more livable islands, because if this island is what's going through my head right now, it's like there's a thick fog that's like really low to the ground, and so small creatures are just like pretty much non-existent unless they can like live in the fog. And so there, I would imagine like a lot of trees and a lot of like tree life. Except I don't know if that would make a good island per se, because it's like no one would really want to live there. I don't think. I mean, sure, it would make for some interesting world building. I guess it just depends on how many islands we have that are more livable. Because if we have like 3 or 4 islands that people live on, then that's cool. But we have to keep in mind that out of the 3 islands that we've done so far, really only one is one that people live on. So, I mean, the King's Island, sure, it's a big city and a lot of people live there. But the Research Island has pretty much no inhabitants. And same with the Mountain Island. There's very few inhabitants here. So we just have to watch how many islands we have that are basically uninhabitable. Now, that being said, there can be an island like this, where it's like there's this thick fog and not many smaller creatures on the ground. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I envision like a swamp where there's like a lot of water. And so like there's like just a lot of like wooden bridges, and then the houses are all elevated. Maybe the smaller creatures can see with infrared. That's true. So what do we think? Do we want... Yeah. Constant perpetual fog that covers the lower half of the body. So I guess it just depends on if we're okay with another island where people don't really like to live there. Let's move on to another island idea. So are we not that big of a fan of this one? I think it's a cool concept. It's just, I don't know if it would work well with the islands. Like, maybe we can come back to it if we want to, but maybe this could just be like a biome idea instead of an actual island. I think I think this one would work better for a biome. So we can definitely add this to a biome list. Okay. So the Cavern Island, I think this is cool. I like the idea of having like a cavernous island, but at the same time, we also have to have something up at the top. So if it can't just be caves, right? So, okay, so for the Cavern Island, we've got rocky surface and underground caves, stubborn, clever, and complex. Is that what? Atmosphere. Oh yeah, how people like feel. Okay. How the people are, I suppose, is how that's being described as, right? Dry and okay, so basically it's just like a rock. that's what. Now the problem I have with this is, well, again, bringing up the fact that we have to make it inhabitable. And if it's just like a giant rock, it's not very inhabitable. So, I definitely want an island with extensive caves. However, there has to be stuff on the surface as well. So what are we thinking? This could be, I mean, it could be known as the Cavern Island, but it's not. That's not where well, I mean, maybe there could be people living there, but it's like there's people living up at the top and people living at the bottom. I don't think it should just only be people living down at the bottom. What are we thinking? Like, should it just sort of be like a generic island where we just place some biomes there? And then there's a couple villages and towns there in the different biomes. And then just like the one specific like thing that it's known for is like the caves. Maybe the top is too dangerous to live, so they have to go down. Okay. Maybe the island is the way that it is because of extensive mining. And they keep the extensive mining to just that one island, so people are scared of having to relocate. So are people living down in the mines, or are people like living up at the top and it's... Maybe they have to get a lot of imports. But it's like everyone who lives there is pretty much like a miner. Although I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like the idea of everyone living on that island. Because that sort of goes back to the research island, right? I want there to be some islands where it's like... It's sort of just normal. There's just a couple unique biomes on there. Up top, but the island is falling apart. Not everyone would be a miner. Okay. So... Everyone... There's a lot of miners there. And I would assume a lot of big corporations have set up, like, bases there. Like, mining corporations, right? So, there's a lot of mining going on. And, I mean, I would think that there would be a lot of natural caves too, where they could, like, go and dig out, like, certain tunnels where they just mine in a certain direction or whatever. Okay, I think we can establish that it's mining and there's like a lot of caves and stuff. But what about the top? What do we want the top to be? Like, is it, there's a couple like mountainous areas and then the rest is just like miscellaneous biomes that we'll decide on a later day? Or is it like it's all rock? Anyone have any ideas? Mountain with caves in them too, maybe. Okay. So we can have another mountain island, but just keep in mind that we already do have one big mountain island, so we might want to make sure that we have some sort of variety between the two. Now, I mean, like, this one maybe wouldn't be as cold. Maybe a river. So, like, there's a giant river, maybe going down a hill or a mountain, and it's like this huge river. It's like the biggest river on all the islands. I mean, most islands would have rivers. It's just maybe this one has like a big river. Big Mountain Island and Little Mountain Island. So would this one be the Little Mountain Island? Some mountains, some normal biomes, the mountains wouldn't be as extreme as the Hailstorm Island, and there would be fewer. Okay. I think that's fine. And mountains sort of, I think, makes sense for caves because there could be caves in the mountains. So I think that works. The Cave Island. Cave Island? Nah, I want the Cave Island. It's the Cave Island. Whoops. What are some nicknames? Anyone have any nickname suggestions or possible names for later? What is going on? Well, I don't know if you've got Mount Everest, which is huge, and then little mountains like Snowdon in Wales. Makes sense that Ilaria will... Yeah, yeah. So there could be... This will just be like smaller mountains. The Grand Canyon. Haha, no. Okay, Crystal Cove. I suppose... Wait, isn't Crystal Cove from something? If Crystal... Why would the Grand Canyon be funny? I don't know, man. The Grand Canyon, I don't know if we want to make it parallel Earth that much. Okay. Look, the Cove, it depends on if there's a lot of water, because aren't coves usually associated with water? So if there's a lot of water, sure, but I don't know if there's going to be a lot of water on this since it's a mountainous. Right. Crystal stalactites. But does that make sense for an island name? Mine Cave Island? You guys, the names you guys have suggested for this one aren't very good. So I think we'll skip the names for this one because names are kind of hard to decide, especially on stream. So we'll skip the names for this one. Okay. Description. Rocky surface with underground caves. That's pretty standard, I think. Okay, that works. What did we... Yeah, okay, so atmosphere... Yeah, that's just the general atmosphere. The rock? No. Now we're skipping the names for this one. Or the extra names, I suppose. The nicknames. I don't really know. The naming situation's kind of weird. Like, we don't have an official name for the islands yet. Stubborn, clever, and complex. Is that what we want? I don't know. That sort of describes a population or like a species. I don't know if that's necessarily what we want for that. We want more of like how people feel on the island, not so much of their description, right? Or how it feels to be on the island itself. Not necessarily the people living on the island, right? Like if I were to move to this island, how would I change, and like how would my mindset about, I don't know, maybe just life in general? Because for example, like cold for the hailstorm island, like it's cold. People try to be optimistic, but it's hard because every day is a blizzard. It's like, oh man, gotta wake up to this nonstop blizzard, and it's just, you know, you don't want to get out of bed because it's cold, right? So that's like an attitude change, not so much of like my personality. Maybe it's just like how I changed because I went to the island, right? The research island, everyone's there for a purpose. Like, it's not really describing the people there because they were born there. It's describing the people there because they're the I don't know. This is hard. It's hard to describe. So anyway, do we just want to do stubborn, clever, and complex? I mean, I suppose that's fine. Oh well, it's fine. Okay, so the climate, this one's probably fine. What's the subscript say? There's some rain, but it is not notable. Okay. We all good with that? I think a lot of this is similar. Although, let's update the description. Mountains are frequent. Okay, so the difference between these two is the mountain island is just one ginormous mountain. It's like, that's it. That's the entire island, basically. The cave island has a lot of smaller mountains. Mountains are frequent, but a good mix of other biomes. How about that? How far away are the biomes from each other? That's a good question. We don't know. We're just sort of saying, I think, like a good enough distance to where they don't affect each other, but also at the same time, it's like, it doesn't take, you know, 2 days by airship to travel, probably. I mean, it depends on which island you're going to, but maybe like 3 or 4 hours by airship. But I mean, we don't know how fast the airships are going or whatever, so like we can't really do a good judgment on that. Oh, I thought that the mountain island was always just one big island. That's sort of what we were describing it as, right? Like a grotto with trees and everything is inside. Shouldn't the cave island be a huge cave? I mean, the cave island has a lot of caves underground. Oh, are you talking about like inside the cave there's also like trees and stuff like that? Okay, I mean, yeah, that's fine. And that's cool. I like that. But I think maybe I was just focusing too much on the outside. Maybe. I always thought that this was one giant island. I mean, if we don't like that, we can change it, but that was sort of what I had in my head the entire time. If it was one big mountain, then everyone would be living underground. There should be a variety of mountains and plains. Well, it thins out towards the bottom. It's just like the center of the island is the peak, and so it thins out, right? But it's not like, I don't know. It's not like it's the entire thing. The radius, I don't know, maybe here's the radius of the island. Ugh, no, that's terrible. How can I insert? There's no circles. You can't add circles or anything on here. I don't really want to pull up Photoshop either. I don't know. It's maybe the radius of the big mountain in the center is like 75% of the island. So there's still like 25% of the island that's like pretty much flat around the outside. How's that? Is that good? I feel like the chance having two different conversations. One conversation's on the mountain island, the other's on the cave island. should be multiple mountain ranges. Okay, look, I'm thinking one central mountain, and then on the outside, it's fair game for whatever we want to put out there. I think these are the basic descriptions, and I was thinking that there would be one main big island that sort of differentiated this island and this mountain from all the other islands and mountains on Ilaria, right? But then on the outskirts of the island, we could have other smaller hills and mountains, but it's just like, when you think of the mountain island, you think of that one central island. Okay, Ralunix was thinking of a more flat, like, island, which seems deserted, but under is where they live. Okay. So, I mean, that's fine. The problem is thinking about it. Why would they not want to live on the top? I mean, maybe we could turn this back into the swamp thing, right? We could combine the Cavern Island with the ground fog island. Nobody wants to live with this constant fog. It's like dangerous and stuff like that. So they move underground. But again, I don't know if like this constant fog would be good for an entire island. So I don't know why. I don't know. Because they don't have agriculture because of the crystals. So you're thinking that crystals are like poking out of the ground, and so maybe it like ruins the dirt. Is that what's going through your head? I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to paint a picture in my head of what everyone's thinking. Acid rain. That could be interesting. Maybe the crystals, if there's like huge crystals like poking into the sky, maybe when the crystals touch the cloud, it turns the rain to acid, maybe. I think combining the caves and the fog would be good because it would explain the greenery in the caves. Right. What? Why am I being dumb? Like, I'm just trying to figure out what everyone's thinking. A crystal island where people live under the crystals. The ceiling is crystals. Okay. So the ceiling is crystals, but what if those crystals also sort of like... Here's the ground level, right? Here's the crystals poking down. And then here's like, I don't know, the floor so you can see the crystals. Right, but what if those crystals also extended up past the ground, and so they like just giant crystal pillars going through into the sky, and so it's like there's a huge, like there's other biomes up there too, but it's like intertwined with a bunch of these crystals, and these crystals are just so hard to work with. You can't have, since there's so many of them, it's hard to have a big piece of land just dedicated to whatever you're trying to do, because there's always a crystal sticking out somewhere where it's like, oh, I wanted a house to be here, right? Okay, good. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm just trying to figure out what everyone's saying and paint a picture in my head. Okay. Cool. So, are we combining the ground fog island idea where it's like there's just this constant fog? I guess it depends on if we want the crystal island to be nice looking, or if we want it to be foggy and kind of... I mean, that might be a good contrast, right? Like, on the surface, it looks really disgusting because there's this huge fog with these crystals poking out, and it's like maybe there's constant clouds, but the crystals are so far up in the clouds that the sunlight travels through the crystals down underground, which is what Ralunix was saying. And it's like, ah, man, why would anyone want to live here up on the surface? Because it's like disgusting. But when you go down, it's really beautiful because it's like bright and it's like colorful and it looks cool. Although I will say this. You're going to lose a lot of space because the odds of you finding mountains that, or not mountain, the odds of finding caves that are big enough to contain, I mean, sure, you can have like the size of a cave that's like a village, but then you're gonna have to tunnel out to find another cave. So it's like the population's going to be fairly small on this island as well. So I think keeping that in mind, we should format a lot of the other islands to be relatively more normal, to where you can have a large population of people in like a lot of towns, because like we're running out of island spaces, and if we want a large population, I don't know, I feel like as far as the government goes, the government is sort of implying, at least the way it's set up right now with all these different like cardinals and I can't remember the other names, but like there's not that many people to govern over. There could be multiple bridges around the edges of the island. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm picturing what you're trying to say. Like, are you talking about how, whoops, like the island is here, and then there's like a bridge that sort of goes, that wraps around the outside of the island, where you can walk around the bridge and like go into different like little caves? Have you seen Attack on Titan's Underground City? I've seen Attack on Titan, but I don't know if I remember specifically what city you're talking about. Could you send a photo to the Discord? Okay, well, anyway, I'm just saying you're gonna lose a lot of population space, I would feel like. I mean, maybe not, but oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I guess we could do something like that. That's fine. If we do that, then there's a lot of room. That's fine. So it's just like there's a lot of pillars. Okay, I guess I was just envisioning smaller caves, but if I guess if we do a really large cave, then it's fine. Acid Island. Okay. So we're not doing rocky surface anymore. Here. So there's less mountains now and more, I don't know if we have the same. Why not have something very Atlantis looking with a lot of man-made pillars and very tall places? I think, Raw Lunix, if you check the Discord in general, then I think that's sort of what you have in mind. Moist environment with a thick ground, constant perpetual fog that covers. Okay, constant perpetual fog that covers the lower half of the body. People live in, oops, large underground caves, crystals, on the ceiling and on the ceiling of the caves that send past the clouds, allows for sunlight to travel. The inside of the case. How was that? How was that description? Is that good? Rolex, what are you saying sorry for? Did I miss something? It's gonna be a fog, but what if it's just below your feet kind of fog? Well, I don't know. It's a pretty high fog. Second sentence. Why? This describes the fog. Oh, well, I guess this describes the fog too. Okay, fine. Acid? Do we want acid rain? Lots of in the caves due to the light. Should happen in some random volcanic island. So you don't think acid rain should happen with the crystals? How do they get water down there? Is water from the cave? Okay. I suppose there could be water from the cave. Maybe a lake that seeps water. There could be lakes that seep water and waterfalls. Okay, so there's just like this underground water system kind of thing. Underground springs. Although underground springs were kind of the thing in this one, right? Underground hot springs, yeah. I still want to know odor or the weird fountain plants. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. They can have those, cause like where they build the cities, there's not gonna be like that much water, right? I mean, sure, they might have like a giant lake of water out there, but like for people in the center of the city, it's gonna be harder to get water. And since they're underground, they only got that one water source. It's not like they can, you know, get water from other things, because it's like they'd have to go through a bunch of caves to get water. So there could be those plants. I don't remember what the name of that plant was, but the water fountain plant is abundant here. There. Okay, that's a good idea. The water can also drip from the crystals. If the crystals are, I don't know if I would want the crystals to dip water, because then it's like, in what circumstance would they drip water? And then it's like, that would, I guess it would simulate a rain, because the crystals encompass the entire ceiling, pretty much. Ever heard of the Roman aqueducts or water creators? Yes, that's also true, I suppose. But like, I guess I do need to take into account the water users. But at the same time, if they've got this one water source, like this one giant lake, and then if you want like another giant water lake, you gotta go through a bunch of tunnels to find it, right? That's a limited amount of water. I mean, aside from the water creators, which would help combat that, but still, one water source, you gotta be more cautious with the water, since it's not like it rains all the time underground, right? Okay. So I think we should change the climate. The climate, what's the climate like on the surface? Underground pipes that use the fog. What would they use the fog for? What's the fog used for? And is the fog like poisonous fog? Or is it... Oh, so they would use the fog to turn into water, as long as it wasn't poisonous. Are we still doing acid rain? That's a good question, because if we're doing acid rain, then that could change some things, possibly. Right, because if it's acid rain, then why wouldn't the fog be toxic too? I think it should be for a volcanic island. Okay, so maybe not acid rain on this island per se. The only reason why I thought acid rain might be a good fit is because the crystals maybe would turn, like, since the crystals are sort of poking into the clouds, and I think there's, I would think that there would be like a lot of clouds. It's just like a very misty island. I would think that maybe the crystals might have something to do with that mist, and so since they are sort of like touching the clouds, maybe they would affect that and turn it into acid rain. Maybe if the research island have acid rain. Yeah, maybe one of the side islands on the research island has acid rain or something. It's just the most convenient island. It's like, how could you get that lucky and have every single situation on that island? It's like, it was made that way by design. Because it was. They could use the acid to make something. What would they use the acid to make? I mean, like, maybe some sort of poison. Poppleberry acid. The crystals can be acidy, and then they touch the clouds, making the water condense onto them. And then contaminated water runs down it. Okay. But with the water wouldn't go through the ground though, right? Use acid to make energy. Okay, but there's no technology really. So it's not like they're using electricity to power things. It's all magic powered. Okay, we've got to get moving because we're already almost an hour in. We're like 45 minutes in and we've only been doing, we're not even like halfway done with the first one. Okay, acid rain will be on a more volcanic island. So... Okay, so the inhabitants, what were the kind of things? Basically, how they act. Moist, rains a lot on the surface. Constantly cloudy. All right. Maybe the streams can come off the crystals onto the cave, a pure water source. And it's also believed to have healing powers. Maybe. Maybe there's like a couple crystals that act as like a chute and they go into the... I kind of like that idea, actually. Maybe it constantly refills. And then that could also be a problem, because if it rains too much, then that one giant like lake maybe they have like on the outside of the city, it could overflow. And if it overflows, then obviously you have a flooding problem. And if it overflows too much, then the entire city just sort of gets engulfed in water. And there's nothing you can really do about it, because there's nowhere for the water to go, per se. I mean, it depends on the situation, but... Okay. The inhabitants... It's bright there, so it's not like it's dark. There's natural sunlight. People often forget they ground due to how bright it is. I don't know if the crystal should heal per se, because then it's like everyone I don't know, it depends on sort of how we are going to deal with healing, and if that's going to be like a thing that like for example, like a healing potion, are those widely available, or is that something that doesn't exist and you just have to like wait for your body to heal naturally? Sort of depends on what we're doing. Okay, side islands. Not very many. I don't think there should be very many side islands there. Distinguishing features, huge. Sticking out of the... Okay. Constant fog. Social life. I guess it would get pretty dark at night because there's no moonlight. Well, that's not true. Maybe there is moonlight. The night is... maybe with all the stars, too. Maybe the stars make the crystal sparkle a little bit. Maybe. The night makes the... sparkle, so people often like to hang out there. How about that? Is that good? Could be bright because of the magical cave. No, it's bright because the sunlight is being reflected through the crystals. So I guess in comparison to the outside, like on the top of the island, it's pretty bright. Okay, so they have things that glow in the dark. Plants that glow in the dark. So sparkle and with... in the dark, so people often like to hang out there. Okay, attractions. That's basically the same thing, right? Distinguishing features and attractions are very similar for this specific one. Although maybe this is like specific. I don't know. What attractions would you find in an underground cave that are separate from these? Like, I would feel like these are fairly similar, right? Right. But if you're a tourist and you're coming to see this, I guess, I don't know, I feel like it'd be a combination of both of these. Well, I guess you're not really coming to see huge crystals sticking out of the earth. Yeah, you're coming to see these things, like you're just wanting to spend a couple of nights there to see how all the crystals sparkle and the beautiful nightlife, you know. World's largest rave club. I don't know. That's an interesting idea. Fine. Fine. Okay, we need to move on because at this point we have almost an hour. We've got half an hour to do 2 more islands, roughly. Huge festivals? Okay. Who's the main villain again? The king is the main villain. Dun dun dun, it's the king. If the place is small, it's actually not small, it's actually huge. You know what? I should have done this a little while ago. Just so that we can all sort of get an idea. Although it's not like this because this is dark. It's going to be pretty bright and beautiful. Like this is pretty bare bones. It's going to be a lot more, it's going to look a lot nicer. It's just, this is sort of the groundwork for the size. Had an idea that you put into the islands Discord chat. Okay. We will go over, maybe next week, we will go over the island ideas. Although the one that I had originally posted that I got via email, that one just felt more like a description of all the islands in general. It didn't feel like a specific island. But, well, we can review it. Imagine Luna taking Nico to a festival in an empty, dark island just to get a bright, rave, shiny place. Yeah. It's like, it'd be funny because in Nico's head, if Luna's like, hey, we're going to go to this underground city, and it's like pretty cool, Nico's like, an underground city? It's not going to be dark? Like, I've read The City of Ember. Doesn't end well. Well, that's not entirely true, but it's dark and, you know. But then when Nico gets there, he's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Okay, so Ground Fog Island, sweet. Cavern Island, nice. The Monochromatic Island, vibrant colors, sights, and sounds. So basically, rainbows. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of this one because it's just sort of like, yeah, it has a lot of bright colors, but with the different biomes, we can have different biomes that are brighter colors. So, I mean, we can have an island that's like, although monochromatic is not like a rainbow color. That's just a couple, that's like blue and then different shades of blue. That's not. So I don't know. Is anyone else like digging this island, or is this? Okay, well, Code Mari, I haven't read yours. This one just doesn't seem like it has a solid groundwork for what we could expect to see. All it says is vibrant colors, sights, and sounds, but I don't really know what that means. I think that's why I'm not liking this one as much, is because it doesn't describe like why there's different colors. Rainbow islands, I mean, one for each color. Okay, so it's just like different colored biomes. Like there's green trees, red trees. I suppose I could see that. Maybe. Maybe the thing there is that they change colors. So at noon, it's red. At night, it's blue. Don't think the island should be based purely off of aesthetics. Small islands that have one color base. Okay, so I think that having a colorful island would be cool. However, I don't know. This specific description does not sell it for me. I think we should skip this and then maybe talk about it, because Code Mari, if you said you had an idea, maybe next week we'll go over that, and then we'll try that. But this specific island on this sheet is not really, it's not really, you know, like hooking me in. You know, it's like, oh, okay, different cut, like forest, but a green forest and a red forest. Like that doesn't seem particularly interesting. So I don't know. We're gonna skip this one. 7. The Dark Island. Eerie sounds and strange sights. Home of socially adverse rejects and dark creatures. This feels like the Cave Island. Although the Cave Island is not dark, it's a very bright and I feel happy place. Largest rave club. Okay, again. Okay, let's just do a count. Let's do a count here. We've done 4 islands. The population of this island can be large, but not... It's not going to be as large as an island that's, for example, on the surface and it's a normal looking island. You know? Oh, I guess it's not acid anymore, so you can ignore that. So this doesn't have very many people. This doesn't have very many people. This is the highest population, right? This is a large number of people. This, I don't know. I don't think it wouldn't be nearly as much as this. The cave island might be like 10 to 20%. Maybe. How much percent of the population does the cave island have compared to... That came out wrong. What percent of the population... No. In comparison to the King Island, what percent of the population does... How would I word that? I don't know. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Like... 70%? 70% seems high. That would mean that... I'm just being dumb right now. 55%? So it takes 2 of these to make 1 King Island? Okay. Okay, so that's not entirely what I was asking, but that's like the global population. Like what percent of the global population lives here in the cave island? I was thinking, how many cave islands would it take to make 1 King Island? Because I was thinking that the King Island has the biggest population. So about 3 to 1. Yeah, no, the Cave Island should definitely have more. Because just going based off of this image, this looks like a pretty big city. And honestly, I feel like this should pretty much be the only city. Right? Like, it has this big, extensive thing, and maybe the city extends out even further. But, like, other than that, you've got, like, little smaller caves and a lot of businesses, maybe, that are, like, mining businesses. But, like, this is the main city. Whereas, on the King's Island, the city is huge. Way larger than the underground city. And then on the edge, you've sort of got a lot of towns and stuff like that. So I think it would honestly probably be easier just to, like, put out a number, like a population number. King has 20% of the global population. The cave has 7. Hailstorm 3. 3%, honestly. Well, I guess it depends. What's the global population? I don't know. I guess it depends on the global population. At least 10 million. So okay. So that would mean that, like, there would be 2 million people on the King's Island. And less than 1 million on, it'd be like 500,000 in the Cave Island. Yeah, I don't know. That might be too small. 10 million is probably too small. Because, like, Ilaria, I guess this isn't really something that we've thought about per se. We don't know how big the islands are. I think, what if we did like 50 million as a population? The size of a medium-sized country. I don't know. What if each... I don't know. I don't know if I want to get 50 million. Okay, fair enough. We could do 50 million as a base population. And then if... What's the name of the Crystal Island? Actually, Crystal Island might be a better name for it than the Cave Island. I'll write that down. Crystal Island. Yeah, so Ilaria, I guess, is really small. It doesn't have nearly as large of a population. Which I don't know what their life expectancy is. I would assume it's fairly close to... well, maybe not. What would the general life expectancy be? Like 50 or 60? I guess it depends on the race, doesn't it? I guess it would depend on the race. Okay, I like that. Cryotes. That's actually a good name. I like that. I know these are just like different name. These are name options. This is just what we classify it as for right now. Population stuff is not something I really want to get into. Okay, 50 million, I suppose, is what the number is at right now, but that's still really small. I don't... I guess it just depends on how big the islands are, because if you could have a fairly large planet but have a lot of ocean space. Yeah. Okay. Next. Dark Island. Oh yeah, we were talking about the Dark Island. I feel like we need islands that have just a general, like it's a plain island. There's nothing really special about the island. I feel like we need just a general island. The Legends Island, where legends come to hone their skills. Again, this one doesn't seem like it would have a lot of... This seems like more of a location versus an entire island. The Nature Island. Most uninhabited for its unsuitable living conditions. All these islands are not fit for a large population. This seems like it would be a side island. Or like a little group of side islands. But honestly, that's also sort of like the research island. So that's sort of what that's for. The research island is for researchers and people to come train. So it's like a combination of the two. An island for farming and agriculture? That's not a bad idea. Like where they grow all the food. Again, though, I guess you could still have a fairly large population. It's just a farming island. So you have a lot of smaller towns and maybe like one central city and sort of closer to the center. But it's more for, there's like a lot of farms. There's a lot of farmland. I like that. Let's do the farming island. Oh, it has to be the farming island. Okay. So, lots of smaller towns with one central city. Has a large, or maybe not, mostly flat, good for farming. Let's say like 83% of all food comes from this island. How's that? Okay. With one main city near the edge for export / import. All right. Some hills. Yeah, I know. I just said 83%. It has to be a large number, though. Because 83% I feel is a good number. Because, I mean, they can still have food on the other islands. Children could play on the hills. Yep. They could. The atmosphere. This is... It's very peaceful. Peaceful. Everything. Everyone lives... What should I say? Everyone lives... Everyone knows everyone knows each other, except in the main... Except in main city. Everyone knows each other. Well, everyone in each town knows each other. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, YouTube does be like that sometimes. There can be flat play and large pillars of stone with many rivers. Okay. I don't think people should know each other since they are spread out. No, I'm talking about like in their respective towns. Like there's farming towns, right? Not very many people. There's maybe like what, 50 people per town. So everyone, all of those 50 people know each other. That's what I meant by everyone knows each other in each of their towns. Like, town A, people wouldn't know people from town B, aside from maybe like the merchants who travel. I'm talking about in their respective towns. You know? Because it's like, there's like maybe, what, 50 people per town? Ruins of old beautiful buildings. Could be like the oldest island. That's not a bad idea, actually. Maybe... Old ruins. Since this island is mostly flat, although that's not entirely true, it has some hills, is easy to work with. Some of the oldest towns were built here. Most inhabitants are earth magic users. I mean, maybe, but also at the same time, we don't really want to discriminate against different magic users. So the idea is that, I mean, you really need all kinds of different people, right? Because you can use air users to spread fertilizer. You can use water users to water the plants. Earth users to obviously do the earth stuff, like plant the plants and stuff like that. And then fire users, like, I don't know, during the winter to heat up the plants, right? Just have a central heating source, and then all the plants are heated. So you can really use all water, or all magic users there. Maybe this used to be the big city when the king was young. Yeah. I think the idea behind it is like, hey, this island's really good for farming. I know we have all our towns and stuff here, but let's just move those to a different island where it's like maybe a little bit harder to initially build, but once we build it, it's fine. So that way we can reserve this good island that's really good for farming, you know? Oh, yeah, that's right. There aren't, like, seasons. It's a constant season. Okay. Well, at night, since it's producing 83% of the farms, or 83% of the food, there's got to be a lot of it being grown. And so, I don't know, hypothetically, maybe some of the plants there grow better. Like maybe you have to tend to some of the plants all at night too, but they have to have like a light source, or like a heat of some kind. And so with the moon, you just don't get that. So then you have fire users go out there at night or something. I don't know. Anyway, there's a use for all the users on this island. Everyone can be useful for farming, baking bread. For example, you gotta have fire to light the ovens and things. So, fire users are there to clean with bed crops. Yep, that could also work. Like once all the crops are harvested and stuff, and there's like leftover stuff, you just light it all on fire, goes up in flames, and then it's like a reset palette. Sunny and periodically rainy. Sweet. Perfect for farming. Inhabitants? Most people grow up to be farmers. Probably. What would the side islands be? That's a good question. What would the side islands be? Maybe there's certain crops that don't go well with others because they just like overtake them. So they dedicate side islands to that specific crop. Do they have livestock? Yeah, of course they would. I mean, like, it's not just for farming, like, plants. They would also do, like, I don't know, cows and whatnot. Although cows, it wouldn't be cows exactly, maybe not, but it would be something sort of similar to that. Side islands, farms for plants that ruin others. Social life, lots of partying at night, early mornings, and I mean, you got to get up early to plant all the, or to water all the plants. Early mornings and early nights. Because like once you've done all the watering and stuff like that, like say for example you water twice or 3 times a day, then you're pretty much good to go. And not everybody has to water, so it's like, yeah. And since there's no seasons, it's not like you follow a cycle. So it's like, say for example, a certain farmer has like 3 plots of land, right? And maybe 3 times a year, each of those are harvested. So you're working on harvesting 1 plot of land while the other 2 are like sort of in their stages of growing. So that way it's like, okay, so like plot 1's ready for harvest, but plot 2 is like 75% there, and then plot 3 is like, I don't know, 35% there. So then by the time you're done harvesting plot 1, you're ready to start harvesting plot 2. And then that means that the people, like the earth users, well, I guess you'd probably need a lot more earth users there anyway, but like you would have people working to replant and stuff like that for plot 1, while also having people try to harvest for plot 2. And then plot 3 is being worked on by the water users, and they're watering the plants and tending to them. And then plot 1 will start growing. Plot 2 will be fully harvested. Then you move on to plot 3 because that's like roughly ready to be harvested, right? So it's just like boom. It's just like a complete cycle. So it's like all year round. Repetitive days. Attractions? What would the attractions be? Tourists get a free bag of pop-up. That doesn't make too much sense though. I mean, like, why? Why? I mean, sure, maybe they farm a lot of popple berries there, but like at the same time, Who would orchestrate that? Oh yeah, the ruins, the ruins. I don't really think there'd be too many attractions here, actually. Just mostly the ruins where people can like take a field trip and then go visit the ruins, and then they'd be like, oh, okay, cool. And then they'd leave. Okay, yes, they would have Poppleberry Farms, but like, why would tourists get... That wouldn't be something that would be orchestrated by like the government. That would just be something that maybe the business or something would do. So, I mean, that's not really something we should include here. Okay, cool. Are we good? Do we have anything else to add for the farming island? Harvesting season. There is no harvesting season. Harvesting season is all year round. Maybe there could be festivals. But that's about it. Like, they are fairly small towns. So it's not like there's that many festivals. Like, it would be... The festivals would mostly take place in the large town. Or the large city or whatever. Okay, fine. Annual contests. Fattest pig. Yeah, something like that. There'd be festivals everywhere, but maybe make it a bit religious there. It's like everyone takes the festivals very seriously. That's funny. The biggest Poppleberry. Okay. That might be a little too extreme. Merchant stalls? That's not a bad idea. Maybe they have like... like a farmer's market, like, I don't know, 4 times a year, right? And so maybe it's a lot cheaper to buy it at that farmer's market. So a lot of big corporations that rely on the food, they're like, okay, we got a lot of money to go spend on this stuff because we're gonna buy it cheap. And it's a lot cheaper to go there and buy it and take it back instead of like, I don't know, buying it locally. So, quarterly farmers markets. How about that? Okay, cool. Anything else for the farming island? And the king made the farms over the ruins. That's not entirely true. The ruins, they kept some of the ruins, but like a large part of the towns were removed. But there's still like a good, there's still probably like a small little town there that has some ruins. He just said like, okay, no more building, no more expanding. We're moving to a different island for the main one. Also, the king was like, I want to be the center island, so let's go ahead and move to the center island. Although, since it's a spherical world, I don't, like, how can you classify which island is the center? You know? Because it's like, you just shift the map a little bit, and then it's the center, but oh well. Lovely, huge statue between crops for my nightmares. Yeah, well, it's okay. It won't haunt you. You're fine. Okay, next island. There's not really... like, we don't really need to be using this too much anymore, right? Okay, I feel like the King's Island and the Cave Island are the 2 biggest populations. The Farming Island maybe has... I don't know. If the Cave Island has... Population numbers are going to be weird. I feel like we should focus more on islands that have good opportunities for people to actually live, and it's more normal, and there's big populations. Look at Code Mari's island idea. Okay, but are we going to do that next week? We were going to look at the different ideas that people had for islands in the Discord. I mean, I suppose we could. So, out of the necessities, we have food. I mean, water is just sort of widespread. So we've solved the food problem. Side island for the farming one. Fishing and hunting. Well, I feel like hunting would be done on a more foresty island. Which actually, maybe a forest island. We don't really have a big forest island, do we? I mean, like... Maybe that would just be a more normal... Why don't we just have a more normal island? You know? Like... More normal island with the second largest population. I mean... Because... There has to be a couple of normal islands in there that are just like a mix of a lot of biomes. You know? Because, I mean, we spent a lot of time making biomes, but as of right now, there's not really any good places to put them. Because all of these are very... I mean, the Researcher Island has a lot of different biomes, so that's cool. King's Island can also have some different biomes, but you don't really have like an island that has just forests and, you know, all these different cool environments. So the normal island with lots of biomes. Hooray! This island is what you would expect an island to be. Forests. Rivers, lakes. No. You're right. Etc. Has a large variety of biomes. Also has population second to the king. A good mix between towns and cities. Okay. Okay. You guys need to relax. Most schools are there? I wouldn't say most schools. It's just there are schools here. This island is where most people live, aside from, well, I mean, yeah, it has the second largest population, but this one has better living conditions probably because it's just the cost of living in the King's Island is probably a lot higher since it's a city. An ocean/beach island. Okay, well we can make that next week. We'll just have to remember it. Maybe I'll write a note. Maybe oceanside beach. But at the same time, there could also be an ocean/beach on this normal island too, because we are very flexible with this normal island. Could be a whole biome that is not populated at all. Well, I mean, sure, there's obviously some biomes where nobody can live there because maybe it's just unlivable, but yeah. Good mix of towns and cities. Cost of living is a lot better than in the city. Maybe not in the city, then Kings Island. The reason is because the Kings Island is just basically a big city. Most middle class people live here. Live here. Oh man. Okay, what else? Anything else for the description? It's just like your typical, like, oh, there's a lot of towns spread out, and then there's a lot of cool biomes too. But those biomes are actually livable, and it's not like it's an entire thing. I feel like we need more islands like this. I feel like we need to have, I mean, like, for example, that colorful island with a lot more pastel-y colors. Like, sure, there could be a lot of biomes that are more pastel-y colors and stuff like that, but it would still be, I mean, like, livable, and there could be a large population there. It's just the island has some sort of like random, not random, but like coincidental theme. Right. Pastel, I know was your idea, but I'm just saying, I haven't looked at it, but I'm just saying, like, it could be a pastel theme for an island, but also still be livable. And it could be like a unique island because it's pastel. It's not like this normal island where it's just boring. It doesn't have like a name. I mean, it has a name, but it's not like it has a distinguishing feature like Farming Island. Like Farming Island is farming. Normal Island, it's just, it has like everything there, right? It's just like normal. So, okay. The atmosphere, normal. People live their lives. Have ambitions. I don't know, what do you want me to say? Climate, average. Some rain. Yeah, maybe, no, yes, no. Inhabitants. I feel like we sort of talked about the pastel biome, but that was quite a long time ago, so I don't remember entirely what that meant. It's a bit hard without seasons. Yeah, it is. Although, you know, I mean, obviously some of the islands are just colder in general, like this mountain island. Inhabitants? Normal. Normal people. It's average. Your everyday, is that one? Your everyday average town. There's nothing too special. Well, I don't know what an average town in Ilaria is. When I don't even know. It's just like there's nothing. They don't have to overcome any big feat. Like, for example, this mountain island, the blizzard. It's like the people there are kind of depressed because it's like it's constantly snowing. It's not fun to live there. Whereas here in the normal island, it's just like everyone's just chilling, you know? Everyone's just living their lives, doing what they do. It's like everyday life here on Earth. Yeah, basically the King's Island, but not... Yeah. I like that. We'll use that. There we go. Side islands? What do we want as some side islands? More towns? It's not a boring life. It's not a boring life, it's just an average life. You know? They're just, you know, every day contributing to the society humans, you know? Side islands. More normal side islands. A couple smaller villages. Maybe there's a large tree. I've seen in a couple shows, like they call the big... They call the big tree the world tree. It's like maybe that's what this one island has going for it. On a small side island, there's this giant tree that's like the biggest tree in all of Ilaria. Or maybe it's like the largest like oak tree, like normal tree, because I'm sure some biomes have large trees as well. The Tree Island. Such an interesting island. It's known for its one tree. The oldest tree, maybe. The world tree. Social life? Normal. Frequent parties. Average lives. Distinguishing features: a large number of biomes. The oldest tree? I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here. I mean, I think it'd be funny if it's like they're known for a tree. I mean, like, you know, the farming island is known for its large farms and it produces 83% of all food. You know, like that's a pretty big feat. The Cave Island. The cave is so cool, like the big town in there, right? The Mountain Island. Like, oh my gosh, it's a mountain. Whoa. It's like huge and it's hard to live there, right? That's pretty cool. The Research Island, that's cool. The King's Island is obviously the main capital, right? And it's just like this island that's known for its tree. What if the tree has a connection to the Soul Realm tree? Possibly, but we'd have to revisit that Soul Realm tree because I don't entirely remember the context behind the tree. So we'd have to revisit it. It could very well have a relation to the tree, and that'd be cool. But I don't remember as well. Sorry. We'd have to like go back and reread the Holy Page Turner Bible. There should also be an island where people live in giant trees. What if that was a biome, not necessarily an island? I feel like we need to have another biome or another island with miscellaneous biome. Like this, the normal island could have a biome like that and people live there in a tree, right? And that's why the normal island is so powerful, because it's got all these different unique biomes that makes it like, there's so many unique things about it, it makes it normal because there's not one single thing that's unique about it. People like to hug the tree. Yeah, maybe it's seen as a sign of good luck. So each year people try to go to the tree and like, I don't know, give it things. Like give it sacrifices or something. That'd be actually kind of funny. The tree biome. Or the tree island. The tree island. Worship the tree. Tree grows grapefruits. I'd be fine with that. Okay, sweet. Well, we have completed our 3 islands. Even though we spent a lot of time on the cave island, which is not bad. I like the way that the cave island turned out. Although I think we should have another more normal island with just cool, unique biomes. But maybe that's what the pastel island will sort of be. Maybe the tree each year has a different random fruit. And then it's like, you wonder what fruit you're gonna get for that year. It's like, oh, cool, this year it's strawberries. Even though strawberries don't grow on trees. So, maybe, I don't know. When you grew mushrooms. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Although, depends on if we want to abide by the laws of it, of what fruits actually grow on trees. Each season, the tree gives out different foods. Are you talking about seasons in the show? Because it can't be, there's no like seasons like spring, fall, winter, summer. Like that doesn't really happen. It's just all one season basically all year round. I mean, yeah, I could have new fruits like Ilarian specific fruits. Maybe that's where all the popple berries are. Maybe they grow on that tree, and that's the only place you can get them. If it's connected to the soul realm, then that if it produces fruit from Earth and Ilarians come to watch them grow, try the food, it's an annual festival. That's a cool idea. Well, this tree turned out to be a lot bigger of a deal than I thought it would originally. Which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Yeah, now it's the tree island, not so much the normal island, which is kind of sad. There would still be a large population. Why do I want a normal island? I want a normal island. A normal island. No, the thing is, right? This island can have some very unique things. Like, for example, it can have a biome with really large trees and people live in the trees, right? It's just, it's not big enough. Like, I don't want that biome. Like, I don't want everyone in a specific island to live in trees because I want there to be more options for biomes. I want there to be a more general biome island. So that way we can explore more biomes and have different, like, we created a bunch of biomes. Why not use them, right? So there's just a lot of different biomes on this island. That's why I want a more normal one. Plus, I want an island that can hold a large population of people, whereas the other islands so far haven't been able to do that. So, yeah. We need a large population. We need to get the population at least up to 50 million. Depending on how large the largest city, the King's Island, depending on how many people actually live there. I don't know. I guess it all depends on how big the islands actually are, because we're just sort of like coming up with the ideas of the islands. We're not saying how big they are. So I don't know. Why not let the big islands have special things and let all the small islands be normal islands with more normal things? I would think that that would be harder to do because, for example, this mountain island, super small population, and if this was one of the largest islands, that would mean that the largest island is taking up or is using the least number of population. It has the least population density, so it would feel like a big waste of space. It could balance the big islands. Well, maybe, but I feel like you should have some larger islands that have a lot more spread out towns and cities and stuff like that. So I don't know. I need some water. Water. Now we play Among Us for 10 minutes. Nah. We're not changing the islands. We are making the islands. They were never made in the first place. Yeah, no, we're not gonna play Among Us. We only have 10 minutes. It would take that amount of time just to even get us set up. Well, I think we made some good progress. We did 3 islands like our goal was. So next we've got 7th island, 8th island, 9th island. So one's probably going to be pastel or colorful. Ocean / beach. I don't know if I would want to dedicate an entire island to that. Maybe, but we'll see. Like, that could be like what it's known for, but I also want it to have also a more general theme. It's just known for that. And then the 9th island, I don't know. For those of you in the Discord, you can go ahead and suggest ideas in the islands ideas chat. That way, because I think that's what we're going to be doing next week, is we're going to be going over those ideas. So go ahead and put your ideas in that channel, and then we will do that. Next week is, I think I already said that. The week after that, maybe we could do Monster Islands, or we could take a break from island stuff and then try doing something else. Or while we're focusing on the actual islands, we can save Monster Islands for later. I don't know what else we have to do regarding the islands. I mean, we have to make a map and stuff like that, but I don't know when we specifically want to do that. When do we have another stream? Another stream next Sunday, 1:30 p.m. EST to 3:30 p.m. EST. I think. Actually, when's Halloween? Oh, Halloween is this Saturday. Okay. I was planning on doing a Halloween stream as well, so there's probably going to be another stream this Saturday. And it'll just be like a fun, chill, hangout stream. So, yeah. So there'll probably be 2 streams this next weekend. Trying to make it same time, probably. So I'm sorry if it's like, for some people it's probably super late. Other people it's like really early. So for me it's like midday. For me it's literally 1:30. Well, right now it's 3:30, but it'll start at 1:30. So like Halloween will start later in the evening, but we can get on. I'll probably dress up in my costume, and then we can just chill out, have some fun for a couple hours. This upcoming Saturday on Halloween. Halloween stream 1:30 p.m. EST, the same time that this one is. I mean, we can play Among Us for the Halloween stream. That's fine. Just saying. How's the art contest going? The art contest is going fine. I've been in contact with some people, and we're going to start working on it. I'm currently, because there were 242 submissions, so it's taking a lot of work to go through all of them and set up the system that I want to create and to get everyone on board. So it's like, it's taking a little while, but I'm hoping to have it done within the next couple of weeks as far as the setup goes, and then actually recording it. And then the final round, the way it's broken up right now is it's broken up into 16 like initial fights, and then the winners of those 16 fights will battle in the final run. And then I'm planning on streaming the final battle, and then maybe I'll have like the people in the chat of the stream help pick a winner for each battle, and then maybe the judges will have a say as well. So we'll see. Still working on it though. I haven't forgotten about it, so don't you worry. What categories? What do you mean? Oh. Haven't fully decided on that either. Still like brainstorming with it. Code Mario, I can't believe you missed out. You should have submitted something. You missed out on your big chance to prevail as the winner. Because there are 16 winners and then 1 ultimate winner. So one person's going to win twice, and then 16 people, or then 15 people will win once. Okay, well, you'll just have to make sure to submit something for the next one. Yep. You had your ideas, but they didn't fit in with the abstract ideas. I haven't seen Danganronpa, but I plan to watch it. So I don't really know what it's exactly about. I was like, when I was trying to find the next thing for me to watch, I was contemplating that, and I was like, I'll pick something different. But it is on my list to watch. Oh, don't watch it? So you're saying I shouldn't watch it? Okay, well, maybe I'll wait then. Oh, it'll hurt? Oh no. In what way? In what way will it hurt? Like, in what way? Is it like sad, or is it like graphic, or what? Yeah, isn't Your Lie in April good? I love it. So good. Oh, it's a death game. Oh. Interesting. It will mentally hurt. Okay, well, I will take that into consideration when I'm considering to watch it again. It's like Among Us with pain. Okay. Well, I will say I watched Another. Has anyone seen Another? That was kind of similar, maybe. Although, I will say we didn't really get attached to really any of the characters in Another. Yeah, Another was kind of weird. Another is weak compared to that one? Okay. Okay, if you haven't seen, one of my new favorites is A Place Farther Than the Universe. So good. Agent? Looks bad, but it's really good. Okay. Okay, I feel like most people here has probably seen My Hero. I will say, I'm not like the biggest fan of horror, especially like jump scare horror. Like that doesn't like, it's not cool. But, horror to me seems like a little too serious and not as fun. But I'm not opposed to watching it. Like I said, I watched Another, and that one was, I mean, it was interesting, I guess, but it was on the weird side. Oh, you haven't seen My Hero 2011? You should watch it. My Hero Academia. Lolly Rock, you keep telling me to watch that one, don't you? It's so long though, right? Is that the one that's really long, like 11 seasons or something? Will we play Among Us in the Halloween stream? Possibly, possibly. Okay, Journey to the or A Place Farther Than the Universe, really good. Highly recommended. It's like 13 episodes. It's not long at all. Really good. Can teach you life lessons and help you become a better version of yourself. What's that one, Raw Lunix? I don't know that one. Yes. Catherine, I'm so glad you agree with me. Place Farther Than the... So good! Yay! Place Farther Than the Universe, Your Lie in April, Relife. Is it Relife or Relive? I think it's Relife. What was another one? Orange was good. Yeah. Those ones are all surprisingly about becoming a better version of yourself, and like ones that could have an impact on your life, and like, I don't know. I like ones about that have deeper meanings, and it's like seeing characters go through hardships and stuff. Lovely revenge story where everything falls in place and satisfying. Huh. Interesting. Is it like... Oh, Your Name? I've seen Your Name too. I've seen Your Name. That one was good too. I haven't seen Weathering with You. That's by the same guy who made Your Name. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's pretty good. It like topped charts. It's like really popular. Oh, Lolly Rock only has 2 seasons. Then it must be something else that someone else suggested to me that was like 11 seasons or something. Sounds of Life. Don't know that one. Okay, well, maybe I'll have to watch Weathering with you too, okay? Anyway, that's it. We are out of time for this week. So, it was fun chilling with all of you and having fun. I'm going to end the stream here. We can do more just idle chit chat next Saturday on the Halloween stream. So, yeah. Yep, it was a fun time. Yeah, it was pretty chill. I mean, like, this is a lot more just, you know, suggestions and, you know, nothing too intense as of right now. Alright, I will see you all later. Bye.